might be wondering, how many carbs should a diabetic have a day? We're gonna cover that and so much more in this video. Today, we are going to go over what diabetes is and what are the types of diabetes. And then we'll dive into how many carbs a diabetic should have in a day. And last, we'll cover the absolute best eating plan for any diabetic. If you're watching this video, then you probably already know what diabetes is, and possibly you or someone you love has some sort of diabetes, or you're teetering on with pre-diabetes. But let's go over the basics. So what is diabetes? When your body's ability to respond to elevated blood sugar is impaired, that's diabetes. So let's explain the simple process. When you eat anything, your blood sugar goes up. And I mean anything. It could be something that doesn't have actual sugar in it. Your blood sugar goes up. The pancreas releases insulin to bring your blood sugar back down so you don't die. Insulin then causes the cell to open up and receive the nutrients. So insulin gets the blood sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cell to be used for energy. Let's just keep it real simple. You got that? But the caveat is when insulin is present, the fat-burning hormones are turned off, like glucagon, epinephrine, norepinephrine, the fat-burning hormones that we all love so much. So you need insulin, but you only need a very small amount for a very short amount of time. The magic happens, as we say, in between meals. When the blood sugar comes down, the insulin is gone, and the fat-burning hormones are now present. That's why this whole bull crap about you need 3 meals and 2 snacks you're eating all day long, where you're triggering insulin all day long, and your fat burning can't take place. Remember, the magic happens in between meals. There are 3 types of diabetes. You've got pre-diabetes, type 2, and type 1. Let's briefly go over what each of these mean. Pre-diabetes. Okay, let's go through it. I am sad to report this to you, but it's true. 2/3 of this country is pre-diabetic. And what does this mean? This means that their A1C, their hemoglobin A1C, is between 5.7 and 6.4. The hemoglobin A1C test measures how much sugar is coating the red blood cell over the last 3 months. We like to say you can't run from an A1C. Your glucose levels will fluctuate all the time. They fluctuate minute to minute. But an A1C, yeah, you can't escape an A1C. That's really going to be very telling on if you've been able to stay out of these 75% off robin eggs after Easter and stop eating the Costco size bags of M&Ms. Can't hide from an A1C. The A1C is one of the 5 markers of metabolic health. You guys remember what those are? Okay, let's go through them really quick. Your waist circumference, under 40 inches for a man, under 33 inches for a woman. Blood pressure, you're gonna make sure that you're under 120/80. Your fasting glucose, under 100. Your A1C under 5.7 and your triglycerides under 150. So notice that the 5 metabolic markers of health include your A1C. So it's really important that you come below 5.7 because again, 5.7 to 6.4 is pre-diabetic. So what does that mean? That means that that's a warning sign. That means that you are knocking on the door of type 2. That means that your doctor is just going to sit back and just wait until you become diabetic and he or she is just going to throw medicine at you at that point. Pre-diabetes is 100% choice driven, lifestyle related. You don't inherit pre-diabetes, okay? You don't I got that from my mom. My mom had the sugars and now I have the sugars. That's not how it works. You might be predisposed, you might have a propensity for it, but it's 100% lifestyle choices, 100% your choice. It was caused by you and it can be fixed by you. The next type of diabetes is type 2. This is also very, very common, unfortunately. And this just means your pancreas is having a hard time keeping up with the demand that you are putting on it. Once again, 100% lifestyle related, 100% you doing this. 100% all you. It can be reversed by you and it has been caused by you, type 2. So the pancreas is having a hard time producing enough insulin to bring the blood sugar down. It's not able, the blood sugar is running so high, the pancreas is just giving up. It absolutely cannot keep up. Now, most pre-diabetics are on exogenous medication, either through shots or pills like glucophage or metformin or something to help them manage their diabetes. The problem that I have with traditionally trained medical doctors that were trained under the traditional paradigm system, it's a pill for every ill. You walk in and your doctor says, hey, listen, you're diabetic, you're type 2. And your doctor gives you medication to help you manage your diabetes. Baloney. That's baloney. You might need medication, but you've got to get to the root cause. You are causing the blood sugar to go up. That means that you need to quit eating the foods that's causing your blood sugar to spike. You gotta quit having the Arby's roast beef sandwich. You gotta kick off that bread and just have the meat inside. But the traditionally trained medical doctors aren't addressing the root cause. They're just giving you more medication. Before we go on to my next point, I want to hear from you. What experience do you have with diabetes? Unfortunately, everybody watching this video either is diabetic, pre-diabetic, or knows somebody who is. So I would love to hear, comment below. Type 2 diabetes, once again, is diet related and lifestyle related. You got yourself into this mess. I was at a conference here a year ago or so, and I was talking to an endocrinologist who we were in kind of in a mastermind together, and he was looking to grow his practice and looking to help people, and he was well-meaning and highly intelligent and so nice. I had such a great time talking to him, and of course, endocrinologist, he's dealing with diabetics all day long. And I said to him, listen, why don't you tell your patients, like, look, Bob, quit eating that crap. Like, knock it off. And he said, I can't tell them that. They're not going to listen to me anyway. And I can't wrap my head around this. Like, as a doctor, that is your job, to really hammer it home. And he just said, they're going to do what they want. Well, okay, but the diabetics that come to me, they do what I say. I say, we're at a Code Red level, we're in a real serious situation. Diabetes isn't something you want to joke around with. So my diabetics that come to me, they quit eating the crap. So I wish that the traditionally trained medical doctors would really address the diet and tell their patients what I'm telling you right now. Even though type 2 diabetes is controlled through their diet, most require pills to manage their diabetes because they just won't control their diet. The third type of diabetic is a type 1 diabetic. Type 1 diabetics do not produce any insulin, and they were born this way. My first husband, Jason Nickel, has type 1 diabetes and has managed it really well his whole life. In fact, he played football for Ole Miss, and he's been an athlete his whole life. So a lot of type 1 diabetics manage their diabetes really well. A lot of them don't, a lot of them do. And even if you're type 1 watching this, we don't have a lot of type 1s that come through the Code Red lifestyle, but if you are type 1 or you know someone who is, you can still get a lot from this video. So share this video with your type 1 or any type of diabetes friends. So how many carbs should a diabetic have in a day? As few as possible. Like, look, the crap carbs, I'm not demonizing carbs. I'm talking about the breads, the pastas, the cookies, the crackers, the oatmeal, the granola, the lasagna. And we all know, I think we can all agree about the sugar. But the carbs, they turn into sugar as soon as you swallow them down. And that's gonna spike your blood sugar. And so when you are thinking about controlling your diabetes, you don't wanna, again, we went through this already, you don't wanna trigger more insulin than what you need. So if you need a number, I'll give you a number. Let me just give you a number. Our Code Red Rebels, no matter if they're diabetic or not, we all eat less than 10% of our intake carbohydrates per day. So I'm talking about, like, I'll do some quick math here for you. If you eat 1,500 calories a day, then you're gonna get less than 37.5 grams of carbs per day. And when you're thinking about veggies, like, well, what about veggies? Like, an avocado, avocados are fruit, but avocado has 18 grams of carbs. That's a lot of carbs that it's eating into my budget. Ain't nobody getting diabetic off of an avocado. We all know that. That avocado's not the problem, especially since it has the fiber in it and all that fat content. I'm talking about the robin eggs, the Swedish fish, the Snickers bar, the caramel macchiato. You know what I'm talking about. The crap that's spiking your blood sugar and requiring, that's what I'm talking about. So when I say 37.5 grams for a 1,500 calorie diet, the veggies don't count in that mess, okay? But any diabetic staying under 50 grams of carbs a day, I think is a really good number. Because the standard American diet has us having 350 grams a day of carbohydrates, and 60% of that is processed. I can't even wrap my head. If I had to eat it, I can't even wrap my head around this. That is astonishing. I mean, you're having the just absolute garbage if you're getting 350 grams of processed carbs a day. So if you're diabetic, stay under 50 grams. If you're on a custom program with me, you're gonna stay under 10% of your intake being from carbs. So what is the best eating plan for a diabetic? Any diabetic? Yeah, it's Code Red. Why? Because we eat meat, vegetables, nuts, eggs, seeds, seafoods, and fat. We're not gonna beat up your pancreas. Code Red does not beat up your pancreas. See, we all eat like diabetics, even if we have a perfectly functioning pancreas. So there are a couple ways you can go about this. You can join my next challenge, which is gonna give you the food list of what to eat and what not to eat, or you can let me write a personalized, customized nutrition program for you. But either way, you've got to get on Code Red. You've got to take your life back. Diabetes is no joke. Peripheral neuropathy, retinal neuropathy, impotence. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong if you have unchecked diabetes. So get on Code Red, because we're gonna take you off the harmful foods that beat up your pancreas and make you sicker and fatter than ever. And by the way, if you're diabetic and you're thinking, well, I can't lose weight because I'm diabetic, that is absolute baloney. You're not gonna have a harder time losing weight just because you're diabetic. In all my years of doing this, and the 46,000 people that have come through my program, I've never had a diabetic have a harder time with losing weight just because they're diabetic. So get on the next challenge, or skip to the front of the line and get a custom program. Either way, I don't care. Just get on Code Red. You can buy my Code Red Revolution book. You can get the food list there. I don't care. Get on Code Red. Let me help you take your life back. I'll see you on the next challenge.